Okay, let's go. Um, this message is for Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, the head of IPOB. This is particularly, I think, the parent organization that oversees the actualization for the Republic of Biafra. And it's a secessionist movement. Let's make that clear, because that will help us to do the analysis that we're about to do. I hope this message gets to Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, and I hope this message gets to most of the people who are agitating for Biafra, that we are right now going into a very crucial moment in the agitation for this republic. And this crucial moment is that there are two sides to it. It's either that Biafra is going to happen or Biafra is not going to happen. Depending upon which side of the analysis you're on, it's crucial now at this point, and it looks more like it may not happen if people don't face reality. So let us face reality on the ground. Let's keep aside tribalistic emotions and face the reality on the ground. I'm going to start from the middle of the story. Mr. Nnamdi Kanu was interviewed. And please, before I go into this, let me make one point clear, because there are people who are very emotionally charged. I have nothing against the actualization of Biafra. I have nothing against it. But I like people to know the truth. The truth. Now, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu had an interview. In that interview, he stated clearly that he wants Biafra. The lady asked him, is it going to be through secession? And he made it clear that he wants a confederacy kind of a thing, confederation. English, big English is nice to speak. But I do want to point out that the idea of the confederation is over. The bill that could have led to the confederations being created was defeated in the Senate. Now, it doesn't matter that Nigeria is so backwards and so primitive that we don't know those who voted for the bill and those who voted against. The media will not put it down. But I can bet Mr. Nnamdi Kanu that a lot of his counterparts in the Senate, his own Igbo brothers and sisters who are in the Senate, may have voted against the bill. They may have voted against the bill. So what does this mean? It means that the idea of the confederation that you're trying to create is over. What's the next move? Well, you have the next move, which you are stating very clearly, that elections will not hold in the Igbo states. I want you to know that that is a direct confrontation with the federal government of Nigeria. With the defeat of this bill, elections will hold whether you like it or not. Now, people, this is where I want you to advise your people and tell them, because there are too many mixed signals. People are saying, they say we shall boycott the elections. Others are saying there will be no elections. Stand clear. Stand clear. Do not be comfortable wearing that chieftaincy and holding that fan and doing whatever you do in confusion. Tell the people clearly, are they to boycott the elections or are they going to disrupt the elections? If they disrupt the elections, it will be the beginning of armed conflict in Nigeria. I can promise you that. Tell the people the truth, that they will not disrupt the elections and things will just remain calm. And things will just, people will go and drink their coke and chew their goat's meat. No, it's going to be the beginning of armed conflict. Tell your followers to look at their wives, to look at their children, to look at their girlfriends, to look at everything they hold dear. And if they have looked at all these things and still decide that they're going for armed conflict, then you're good. But if they are living in a la-la land, fantasy land, where they think that after they disrupt the elections, things will just be like that, it's a lie. If they boycott the elections, the Nigerian government will declare that elections were held. Results will come forward, and people will be sworn into power, and that will be the end of your movement. If you disrupt the elections, there will be armed conflict, and that will be the beginning, really, of your movement. Now it's just people chasing you. You're driving in a motorcade all the way from Britain. You've now come to Nigeria. You're driving this. You're doing all these things. I have nothing against it, but tell the people what really this entails. Armed conflict is not shipping in guns secretly, little pop guns. Armed conflict is sophistication. Because if the Nigerian Air Force is deployed on you guys, the Air Force alone, from the air, do you guys have the anti-aircraft guns ready to shoot down those planes? Do you guys have tanks, anti-tank weaponry ready? What do you guys have ready for the armed conflict? Which I think is inevitable because I've looked at the whole thing. Analyze it the way don't tell the people lies. Analyze it the way I'm analyzing it, and you will see this thing is leading to armed conflict. Are you ready? If you are, I rest my case, and I really don't have anything much to say. But if you're leading those people to leave their gari they were selling in the market or leave the things they're doing to just follow you and stand there and they're unarmed, then you're leading them all to the slaughter. Do not be like Napoleon, a very famous seer called Nostradamus, in one of his so-called prophecies or so, said one thing clear about Napoleon, that Napoleon was going to be the greatest thing that happened to France and the worst thing that ever happened, that he was going to cost France dearly. He made that prophecies for two people, Napoleon and for Hitler, that the Germans would rise and follow Hitler, but he would cost them dearly. Let it not be that the Ipob people have risen and followed you, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. In the end, you cost them dearly. Tell them the truth. Then if they agree to die on your behalf and on behalf of Biafra, then you're good to go. But let it not be they come and stand, and then when the jet fighters come, people are lamenting because there are no anti-aircraft guns. Or when the tanks start rolling, because the birth of Biafra will be the end of the northern state. The north will change into Mali. It's just going to be desert. It's going to be like Chad or Mali or any of these northern places. It's just going to be desert. That's all. Because the oil is not going to them anymore. And they are going to fight with everything they have to make sure that's not the case. Make sure your people are ready. Don't lead them to the slaughter. Do not do that to them. Make sure they're ready. I hope this message gets to you. And I hope this message gets to enough Biafrans. I repeat, before you bring emotional, I am not against Biafra. I repeat, but I am for common sense. It's leading to armed conflict. Are you guys ready? Thank you.